started with the promo shop class. All right, so the backend, exhitradio.com, you log into the Resource Center. Again, we're at the same place you went to find e-listings and everything else. And it's on the same box, the Exitize Me box. And then you'll see right next to e-listings, where you went to e-listings, you'll see Promo Shop. Promo Shop is basically a product that allows you to market to your entire database with nice-looking emails. It also is a mail program also, where you can mail to your database. You can also upload, for instance, like if you created a contact list out of MLS to mail to expireds or anything like that, you can upload lists as well to mail to them as well, and order mailing services through it. They will mail directly. They'll quote you a cost and mail directly. You can also ask them for lists. You can buy lists from them as well. They have varying different lists, whether it's I have a new listing and I want to mail postcards to the 100 closest homes or everybody on the street. You can order that through them as well. So it's a full marketing system. It's got over 3,000 pieces that are all going to be branded to you once you log in and upload your information. And it's got a free 30-day trial. If you like it, it's $149 a year after that. If you don't listen to me on anything else, build your database. Your database is where all your value in your business lies. You know this being a private business. If you do business with somebody and then you forget about them, you never contact them again. I forget what the stats are staggering that National Association of Realtors did these surveys, and they said that like 75% of people would do business with the same real estate agent again, but over half of them would not remember who their agent was or how to contact them. So you don't ever want to be in that position. You want to be in the position of them always remembering you're in the business. Not to the point where they think you're the annoying agent, but enough so that they remember you and will send you referrals and come back to you when they're looking to do business again.
So, Tracy, how do we import? Can you show us how we import
our yes.
From somewhere else?
If you have trouble with the import, it's probably because of the version of the Excel. It's got to be in a certain version, like a CVV format. Again, they will help with this. If you contact them, you can actually send them your database and they will upload it for you if you have trouble with it. But if you do want to try it yourself, you do, from the contact manager, you do import contacts, and it'll show you the different types that you can upload, like Excel. So I could click on Excel right now, and it's going to give me some instructions like how the header should be set up, first name, last name, street address, how it should be set up. You want to save as type, comma, delimited, .csv file on your computer, and then it'll indicate how you can go ahead and upload those. Most of the time it'll work. If you've got a huge database, it may be too big for you to do through this link, and you'll have to send it to them to upload. But if it's not a huge database, you should be able to click on next, and then you can figure out what group you want to add them to. So if you don't have a group that specifically yet, you could name a new group. You could call it my past clients, whoever it may be. Add that group, and then we got out of there. So click on Excel again. Click on next. Let's say I wanted to put them into Boomtown. Pick that. Then pick your CSV file and say I agree to the terms, and then hit submit, and those should upload into your database. So that's how you would import all of them at once. If you wanted to add one person, you would come in here to add contact, add their name, You want to come down, and as much information as you have about them, the better off you are. But if you only have certain things, you can only always add certain things. But if you've got their address, you want to go ahead and add it in here, because then you can add them into your mailing programs. So once you add their contact information, you can actually step down and fill out each of these tabs about them. So the next one is, when's their birthday? Anniversary. Anniversary would be the date of their purchase. You know, like 04/21, whatever. Who they were referred by, if they have children's names, you can add that information in there. Consumer information, this is the date where they purchased, the date that they purchased from you, because you can actually set up an email to go out every purchase anniversary to them. Hey, happy anniversary on the purchase of your home. Any other information you want to write on them in there. Second contact, if there was a person they were related to, you wanted to add them, add that in there. Groups and interests. So this is where you can add them to groups. So sometimes people might be parts of different groups, like they were a past client, current client, and you can move them from group to group from times in their lives they'll change. So they might go from just a past client now, and then all of a sudden they come active again. You might move them into your active buyers group. So you can move them from place to place. You just pick where you want them to go. So I'm just going to say put them in my buyer group. If you know they like specific things, you might want to add it in there. Who knows? You might use that information some other time. Phone numbers, if you got any other phone numbers for them, you can add that in there. There's one email address. If they have other email addresses, you can add them in there. Mailing address, if you had a work address you wanted to add, you could add a home address and a work address. And then preferences, how this contact like to be contacted. If they have specifics, like you don't want them included in any mail, you can click off that box, or you can keep it in other. So once you're done, you hit save. And now that contact has been added to your database. If you go to the All Contacts button, you'll see all of your contacts. Like right now I have 7,500 in there. I think I use this for recruiting too, so I've got recruiting emails in there. I've got a lot of different things in there. I bought a list. Like you could if you Google like emails, you could buy like bulk email lists even. I mean, it depends on how far you want to go with it. But you can also look at your contacts by group. So let's say I wanted to look at my buyers group. I just show contacts. It'll show me all my contacts I have in my buyer group. And these were imports, so they're not showing up here as full names because they didn't have their full names, so they're just email addresses. Let's see if I can. So there I start to see names. And then you can obviously click on any one of them. You can also do the find contacts if you're looking for a specific person. But you can see this person, I didn't have a name, all I had was an email address, but I added them in here and added them to different things. Yeah, there's no name. Oh, I did have a name in there. So and then there's these little videos here if you're ever wondering all the little tips and tricks to working with a contact. You can watch this little video right here too.
Can you export data out of there for backup purposes?
Yes. Let's see, I think you do that through the export.
Some company proprietary software doesn't let you.
I know they can if you ask them. I've had them do it before. I don't know if you can do it. Like I see it says import. I don't see the export button here. Let's see. I know there's a way to do it. You might have to ask them to do it.
So the leads we get do they go into this
No.
automatic? Would that be something we have to manually
Yeah.
put in?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say that like anybody that you've made a contact with, you want to add them in here. The value of your database is only in the value of what kind of connections you have with these people. So if it's just someone who just registered on the website but you've never been able to get them to respond to you. Probably not somebody at you, probably not just personally, but if you contact them like, yeah, we're going to think about buying, we're just not quite ready yet, then I would take them out of there. But it depends. If you just want to, you never know, you can just add everybody. It's kind of a personal thing what you want to do with this. But all right, so you can also click on Manage Groups, and you can create your whatever groups you want. You know, it depends on how anything you want to get it. I'd have a buyer group, a seller group. I'd have a past clients group. I'd have a friends and family, and maybe an affiliates group. Affiliates would be like lenders, mortgage brokers, attorneys. Sometimes you'd be surprised. You don't think of affiliates as clients, but they're people that can refer you business, and the people that might know people that need to do business also. So even just keeping in touch with the other professionals you work with makes sense, you know, especially lenders, attorneys, plumbers, electricians, all those other people. I'd keep them in here, probably put them in like an affiliates group, but you might occasionally want to send them an email saying, hey, I'm looking for referrals if anybody's looking to buy or sell.
Or even like a happy holidays or something,
Yes.
just let me know.
Yeah, like, hey, it's me again. Don't forget me. That's really what this is intended for. All right, manage groups. So you can purchase a mailing list here if you wanted to. If you click on that button, you can just do a radius. So if you wanted, you had a specific, like for instance, you just got a new listing, you could purchase a list of homes within a mile or half a mile of that property and do a mailing list to that. So you can purchase your mailing list through here. I think nobody's done that here, right? Oh, I think it's like 1 cent an address or something like that. It's very cheap to buy the addresses from.
Is that different from the coal directory?
Yeah, but you could get it dumped from the coal directory and upload it in here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, how do you do that?
So, for instance, if like there's buyer pieces in here, there's renting versus owning pieces in here. Like if you went to Genie and said, there's this apartment complex in Westford, and they charge, its average rent is $1,500 to $2,000. I want to do a mailer to them. She could download the list. You just give her the address for that apartment complex, and it'll download a list of all the units in there, and then you can upload it here into a group that you just call renters at this address, and then you can order whatever piece you want to be mailed to that address.
So I have she sent me a radius from a listing that I sold. So I've got that sitting there, but I haven't done anything. But I want to do a just sold
Okay.
with those.
So I
So
would,
how do I get it from my desktop into here?
yeah, you'd have to open it up and save it as a CSV file. So go back to the import contacts button, and then follow the directions under the Excel sheet to upload it. You probably want to set up a group and call it 100 closest to, you know what I mean? So that's your specific group name. You're going to upload them into that group, and then I'll show you how to find a piece and order for that. Any questions on contacts? Okay, so the contacts, you get contacts in there. I mean, before you do anything else, make sure under your profile you have your information in here. Check your title. You can change your title, whatever you want on there. Your phone numbers, your email address, your picture. Make sure you have your picture in there and all that filled out. Then any piece you open will be branded to you. So once you're done with that, the next thing you have is marketing materials. So marketing materials are sorted by categories. So in particular, let's look at postcards. Actually, let's look at flyers. So short-term buyers, let's look at that. So if you start to look through these, there's a ton of different pieces in here. There's got to be one here. Buying a home. Getting ready to move. I know there's some in here that are You can do a search also under the search tab. Some of it is just spending some time in here and looking at everything that's available and maybe making notes on the ones that you really like so you know how to go back in and find them. There's over 3,000 pieces in here, so it can be mind-boggling if you're looking at each section. Let's see what this one is. So if you click on it, you can then preview it. Let's just see what this one looks like.
All these can be printed or emailed, right?
Printed, emailed, ordered. So you can just do a desktop print and print them out on anything. You can email it to an individual client. You can email it to a whole group of clients. You can email it to your whole database. It's pretty much anything you want to do with it. Or you can order printing directly from them. Let's see what this one looks like. That's really what does this say? What's the best way to determine the value of your rental property? Okay, that's not really what I'm looking for. But that is an example of a credit card, of a postcard you could order through the system, or
There's also, they have a blank one too, you can just make yourself. That's what I did. I just made it and just posted the picture that
oh yeah,
the
Yep.
house that was sold,
oh okay.
and then I just posted it.
Well, for instance, like property postcards just sold, they have, if you would just wanted to do a just sold around your listing, there's 586 different postcards.
And you can upload a picture of your actual house that's sold into it. Right?
Yeah, and actually, if you create and edit, it should show your own listings. So this one, for instance, I just want to pick that listing, and it'll pull the pictures in on that listing. So it'll pull MLS directly from MLS.
Wait a minute, what button was that?
You just click on the I'll go back in a second. So this is, you can change it. This is just a just listed postcard. Or you can change any of this information. Move the pictures around, change a different picture if you didn't want the toilet picture in that just listed or just sold. Let me hit exit. If you do change anything, you just want to hit save, and it'll actually create a customized piece on that. So if you're in postcards, you just pick the postcard you want, click on the edit button, and then asks you to select which one you
So
want.
it will just pop right up by MLS.
Yes.
MLS.
And you can also enter the MLS number. So it pulled in the picture. If I change anything, I could change whatever I want. Then you hit save, and you call it like 100 Standish. Sold. Close it out, exit. Now that piece, once you save it, will be in your saved pieces. So you go to, there's two tabs here, market materials and save pieces, so you just go to the save pieces. Go back to postcards, and you'll find your 100 Standish Street. So now if I wanted to, I could order printing. And it'll tell you for, if I wanted to do 100 first class, you can either have it mailed to you, I mean, pretty cheap, 20 cents a piece, or you can do mail to them if you do it through through a group.
Do they print out the EDDM code on the backs? Can you get that done through there too?
No, I don't think so. Well, if you modify the thing and put the EDM on there, I think they can do that. Yeah, either that or you download you download it
Right.
and send it to a company that does do EDM. Like,
Oh, so you're allowed to take that and send it to another company?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so for instance, like if you guys, a really cheap one is gotprint.com. I don't know if you've heard of gotprint.com. Super cheap. It'll take about a week to get your postcards.
Blackprint?
Gotprint.com. Gotprint.com. Yeah, but they're super cheap.
Could you repeat that?
Gotprint.com.
Oh, G?
G-O-T. Yep, gotprint.com. They're about as cheap as I found. It takes maybe a week to get them, but they're pretty cheap. This is through Shutterfly. It's still pretty cheap. I know a lot of agents are using it. They're pretty happy with it. So you could add your mailing list right from here. You can upload a file. So even if you haven't added them in as a contact group, you can just go ahead and just add the list to this file email and send it to them. You can also ask them to create a list, and then they'll get back to you and say, okay, it's going to be this much to mail it to that list. So you can do one of those two things. If you have a list, great. If you don't, you can ask them to create a list for 100 closest homes and send it to them.
And they charge you a penny.
Yeah, so I think it's like a penny for every house.
So they give you the list after.
I think so because you purchased it. Yeah. Okay, so that's how to do like a just listed postcard. The other thing that you'll find in here is there's a lot of postcards you can customize, and there's some that are very uncustomizable. You kind of have to look at them and see which ones you like, which ones you don't. Some of the ones that are like higher graphics, they're not going to allow you to do a lot of customization on them. Like renters, let's look and see what's in the renters category. So if I look at this postcard right here, and I hit create and edit, this one's in Spanish. I can adjust the wording in there, but I can't do a whole lot else. I could, actually this one's got more customizable than some of them. So if you see up here tools like add a text box, you can add a text box, and you can scroll and move that text box, put it right here, add your own message. You could add another image in here if you just click on the image, drag it, put it where you want, and then click on the, you can put in a link, or you can double click on it and add the photo in there from your desktop. Just have to click over here, upload an image on the right, and then you can upload your image. It'll save images in here. You also uploaded in the past, so you can pick from standard images you have. But once you modify this the way you want it, you just hit save, and it's going to be back in your saved pieces. So you'll find that some of them are highly editable, and others you can't really edit much. The ones that are most editable, like if you're really looking to create something from scratch, I usually go to like the property flyers, and I'll look at like property flyers, maybe like this one. I mean, it's not fall, but if I was looking to create some kind of flyer for fall, this one's got leaves and stuff on it. When you open it, pretty much everything in these kind of flyers are editable. So it's set up as a listing sheet, but I can delete it, change that wording, move it around, get rid of these labels, get rid of this, get rid of this. I could literally make a flyer for anything I wanted to. So even though it says property flyer, it doesn't mean I can't modify it and make it pretty much anything I want to. So I'll do that for like home buyer seminars, or any kind of office event we're having. It just it's a pretty easy editing program to be able to log in and just make whatever I want to. And as who's it, Kristen? You said that for you. You created your own?
Yes,
Yeah. So you can go down to, where's that?
it's like a blank slide.
Oh, upload, create your own. So you could upload and create your own. You can upload or like a blank flyer. It's just going to be a blank page. This one is another one you could just kind of create and modify. So it just takes some time to get looking in here and seeing ones that you like, match your personality, and figure out what you want to create. So this one, you could change the image, you could change the wording. This could be totally different than what it looks like now, just depending on what you want to do.
How about from, it says MLS data? If you compare. Yeah, so property flyers, MLS data. I haven't been able to get my data to come in from MLS. I don't know if I'm doing it wrong.
Like when you click on this, like these, you mean?
Yes.
Um,
Sometimes what I have to do is put my MLS number
in
at
here,
the top, yeah,
and it'll come in then.
and it still the data won't come in. Is that how it's done?
It should be. It might be a synchronized problem. I might have to call Promo Shop and ask them about it. It should.
So like if you click down one of those, it would just pull all the data.
Yeah, it should pull in the listen pictures. Yeah, so pull in the information.
That's nice.
Yeah, we'll have to find out what the call Promo Shop and see. All right, so just looking down through here, see what other kind of stuff is in here, just so you know. There's recruiting, there's home buying guides. There's a lot of good things in here. Nice little guides to home buying, a mortgage worksheet. I mean, these are all stuff that's in here that's free for you to use, to print out, to email, whatever you want to do with it. E-greetings, there's holiday e-greetings, there's all kinds of different things in here. One of the things I wanted to show you under, there's introductions, like, hey, I just joined Exit Realty, there's holiday stuff in here, New Year's, Groundhog's Day, Valentine's Day. There's just all kinds of stuff in here. But one of the things I wanted to show you was under the create your own, one of the pieces I recommend you create is, I'm going to go to, let's see, postcards. Oh, you know what it was? It was saved under my other marked video one. So here's one, just an example, but I'll tell you how you could use it differently. There's not one in here that specifically allows you to just say, hey, remember my website. But here's one, like, for example, you could say in here, just want to remind you that, you know, I love referrals. If you or any of your family or friends are ever looking to buy, keep me in mind. Here's a link to my website. So in this text box, you would put your web domain, so tracy.exithomesforyou.com. So this is going to tie them back to your website. So you want to, well, after you type in the domain, you want to make it linkable. So you got to highlight it, and then maybe it automatically happens now. Just see if it maybe will add it in automatically.
Try putting space after.
Yeah, maybe it's just this bar isn't capable of doing it. But usually up here there's a link button. You click on link, it'll make it linkable. Let me just see if shows up in the email preview. Oh, here we go. I got it. They moved it on me. All right, so if you highlight that and you see this little over here, it was smaller. Just click on the little see where the three little dots are there. It'll expand, and that'll give you the insert edit link. So you have to do that to make that linkable. So you could call it something different if you wanted to, say my website. Like if I just said, I could say go to my website now. Oh, actually, that's, yeah. The URL is where you want it to land. So with the URL there, and then this could be your text. Hit OK, and now yes. So now if they click on my website, they're going to be taken over to your website. So you just have to click on that little box down below there and do the little hyper edit link. Looks like a little chain link. That's where you want to click. So now if you put in there like, I love your referrals. Here's a link to my website to search for homes. Here's a link to exitsalesfaster.com if you're thinking about that. That's a message that probably a few times a year you send to your whole database. It's kind of like your personal message of, here's why I love your referrals. Maybe add a testimonial in there from somebody that you recently worked with, and then send it out to your entire database, which I'll show you guys how to do next. All right, so say I wanted to just one-off send that piece right now. I could go back to my saved pieces. I'm back at that email. I'm going to email it. And it's going to, in the to box, it's going to ask you who do you want to send to. You create that list over here. So you could pick a group. So let's say I just wanted to send it to buyers. I click on groups, show contacts. I can then check all and then add to email. And you're going to see the send to list up here and over here all of a sudden gets all those emails. So you move them from here to here by adding them to the email, either a group or you can do all your contacts. Once you have them in there, you can see there's 2,800 that are going to be added to that email. You can put a subject line like, I don't know, just checking in, just something like, hey, hope you're doing well, something that's going to get them to open the email. Subject lines are always important. If it's, hey, it's your agent saying hi again, they might just say, hey. But if it's, hey, just checking in, most of us are going to probably check on that email or open that email. Right. So once you do that, you can add a note in here like, hey, hope all is well. And then you can preview the email. It'll show you what that email is going to look like. What's nice about it is that postcard is integral to the email. It's not an attachment. So this is what that email looks like. So you can add that up here. The rest of the email is here. If that looks good to you, then you just hit send, and that email is going to go out to the 2,800 people in your database.
I like the way it can send to a friend, so if they know somebody else who's behind, they can actually.
Oh yeah,
send
you
it on.
noticed that.
Mhm.
Did it say that?
Yeah.
See that? Oh yeah, yeah. So every one of these, every email goes out. They can send it to a friend. So you can put in the body of that, hey, I'm looking for referrals. Just simply click the send a friend button and share this with anybody you think might be able to use my services. So it's a good way to reach out to clients. So that would be your like one-off email. You pick something, you want to send it to everybody or send it to a group. That's one part of the system. The other part of the system is campaigning. So campaigns are, there's different things you can do. There's basic campaigns, which are like prospecting. You can do first-time home buyer series 1. So here's a basic campaign. You can see the pieces that are involved. So if you had mailing addresses, you could do a multi-channel campaign. You could do a just direct mail campaign, or you could just do an email campaign. Most buyer campaigns, you're probably just going to do email campaign because you're not going to have a lot of addresses for those buyers. But, you know, if you did, for example, if you did, you might do multi-channel, but if you had a renter list, then you probably just do just mail. So it depends on what you're doing. You pick the channel you want. These are the 12 pieces that are going to happen. Actually, there's 2 activities in between. It's basically saying, hey, you should call them. Hey, you should call them. But the rest of them are, how much house can you afford? Is buying an unrealistic goal? No down payment. So there's some already set up, ready to go. If you like that whole campaign, you just hit next step. And then it's telling you, well, what contacts do you want in this campaign? So then you pick your group. You pick your buyers, let's say. You want to add them by clicking the button on the right. A lot of contacts in this. So it basically moves them over here. And then when you're happy with that list, you hit Save Campaign, and it's going to happen automatically. So those 12 pieces are going to go out, and you're not going to have to worry about it.
How often do they go out? Is that like a
It's
once a month thing?
It's per the campaign, so let's go back. Go back to that. Different campaigns are different, timing-wise. Let's go back and check that. The other thing, just like any of these other programs, they have help center videos on how to do some of this stuff too, so if you're ever in a pinch. And they got great customer service too, so you can always call them and ask them questions too.
They have a phone number on here somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and just resend this one so I can refresh myself.
Damn, this is slow.
You have to buy into this before you can even really look at it and look at anything.
No, you get 30-day free trial.
No, but I mean, is like, if you wanted to go in and look, and then say later on, then you want to buy it, without even going in for the 30-day free trial or whatever.
No real way to get into it. Other
No, you have to.
than, yeah, you basically have to get into it. I don't know if you plug it in anymore. That should be.
Just didn't.
Yeah, I don't know why you're going in. I can show you.
All right, so hopefully we're back in now. So back in the campaigns, let's look at the basic campaigns again. Let's look at prospecting. Let's look at repeat and referral business. Let's see what there's best home improvements tips. Interior design tips. Let's look at that one. See what's in there. So there's a series of 12 emails. And this will tell you the time frame. So this is every 30 days. So first day, 30 days, 30 days, 30 days, 30 days, 30 days. So these pre-built campaigns are set on specific time frames. If you want to get more in tune with how you want to set this up, the best way to do that is go back to campaigns and you basically create your own custom campaign. If you really want to use this, I think, really effectively, go to advanced and build your own campaign. There's some in here that are, you can look through them, like purchase anniversary. I would set up this campaign for everybody in your database. It's going to be, so year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, and year 5. So I would pick that one. I'd go to the next step and pick everybody in your contact database. If you didn't enter an address for them, a home anniversary date for them, it's not going to send them anything. It's only going to send those that you entered anniversary for in there. So that's a nice one to do and set up and run. But other than that, let's say you just want to build your own campaign. So Click on Build Your Own Campaign. Click on Next Step. And right now, you have nothing in your campaign. So now we just have to start picking pieces. There's a, let's say, Staying in Touch, Real Estate and Finance. Let's say you like this one on credit reports. You can pick that one, add to campaign. It's going to start picking pieces to add in the campaign. Let's say you like best home improvements, exterior siding versus new windows, kitchen remodel versus home theater. Let's say you like that one, add that to the campaign. You just start adding the pieces to your campaign that you want. You could have newsletters, postcards, just anything you want. You could have 10 pieces, you could have 50 pieces. Just depends on what you want to do.
Is there a way to export, say you saw an article on Inman or Chase Show or somewhere else that you wanted to build into the campaign? Is there a way to add something like that in?
You'd have to upload your own piece,
Upload your own.
save it, and then you'll be able to add it into your campaign. You see right here, you can click on your Save Pieces also. So like that save piece I had for, that I was going to make for my referral request. I could add that in there.
Okay.
I could add it in there 3 times, and I'm going to put different dates on it so that it goes out 3 different times during the year. So you add those, all those pieces in there. Click on Next Step. Now it's going to ask you when you want those pieces to go out. It's also if the flyers you pick have and some can be printed, some are only email. If you pick the ones that have print capabilities too, you could have 12 pieces and 3 of them be mail and 8 of them be email. So you pick those pieces and then you have the option of picking a date or interval. So right now it's set as interval. If I change it to date, it's going to ask me what dates do I want these pieces to go out. So this one, let's say I want to go out 4/23. This one, I want to go out 5/31. You pick the dates that you want to go out for each of those pieces. Pick all your dates. And then if you wanted to add another piece at this point, you could. See, so we got our pieces ready.
Over here.
Click on Next Step. And it's saying enter a title. So I'm missing a title for the campaign. So I call it my drip campaign or something. It doesn't matter. Email pieces must be scheduled at least 1 day in advance. Please choose a new date for the piece credit report. Okay, so it has to be tomorrow or greater. It can't be today. So I picked the 24th on that one. Now I hit Save, Next Step. Now it's going to add me to add what contacts I want into that campaign. And then I hit Save Campaign. That campaign is going to just start happening. It's going to run automatically.
Now, if you have print things that are going out in the mail, will it tell you how much you need?
Yeah, I think about 7-10 days in advance, it'll email you and say, just want to make sure you want your print piece to go out. This is what it'll cost. We'll charge your credit card this much. Yeah. So it'll do all that for you, which is nice. The other thing just to keep in mind, when you go back to campaigns, this is going to list all your campaigns. It's going to list any activities, how many emails, how many contacts you have in the database, if it's inactive, finished, active, if it's running, etc. The thing you want to do every once in a while is if you're running a campaign to everybody in your database, the database doesn't want to guess whether you want that new contact to be added to anything. So you have to come in here every once in a while and click on 2009 buyer campaign, add or remove contacts. And the easiest way is just to do select all contacts from, if it's to everybody in the database, just to select all contacts. move them all over in. And what it's going to say is going to say you have 350 that are already in your campaign and 12 that are not. So it'll add just those 12 that weren't in it before.
Does it start those new people at the beginning of the campaign or wherever you're at?
Wherever you're at.
Even if you do it in intervals?
Because, well, intervals, I don't know, that's a good question. I know intervals in Mason from the beginning. I usually do day campaigns, so, you know, I'll start at January 1st and run it through January 1st, and then that's like my time frame to go through and do it again. Create my next year campaign, because you don't want to just copy the same stuff year over year. So it just depends on what you're doing, but it won't duplicate the contacts in your campaign, but you'll just be basically updating your campaign to include anybody that didn't get it.
Do they go in and change the pieces in here periodically?
They add stuff to it. Yeah. They add refresher stuff and stuff like that. There's another thing I haven't fooled around too much with that in here that some agents really like with an exit. I just, yep.
How come mine looks different than yours? 'Cause I can't find any of that.
You haven't signed up yet, probably?
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
So they allow you to do a few little things, but not.
Yeah, you might be, yeah, exactly. You might be on the light
So
version.
then that will be what it looks like when I sign up.
I would say so.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So my name, you know. Okay. All right.
How do you maintain that, say that database? Okay, you may have, say you sold a person a house last year, all right? And you may have an address, and all of a sudden you find out that they've moved, right? Which they could have bought another place.
Right.
Now, is there a way to access that so that you can go in and say, oh, I forgot, I sold them this house, I've got to change their address.
Yeah, you just go to Contact Manager,
Yeah,
find contact, find the person, and then edit their address and change their address.
okay, because that's what seems to be a common problem with, well, for instance, could be emails, it could be mailing addresses, could be phone numbers.
Yeah, I mean, with any database, it's the constant work
No, that's the importance of
of keeping
Right.
it up to date, but right, so the e-newsletter, I think this is pretty, a pretty nice e-newsletter. It's automatic in the sense that it pulls in information. You can post it to your website, you can post it to Facebook. So you can add or remove contacts from it. You can actually put links to your listings in it. So if you add your listings, you can add the MLS ID. So if you want to feature some listings in your newsletter, they'll come up here on the right side of the newsletter. Let me just preview a newsletter. So it'll pull in like industry-related articles. So this was a test. I was playing around with it. You'll see it pulls in home. This is an older, just an example. But it'll pull in articles, what stuff that's going on, but you can also write your own kind of little part of it. Your listings will show up here. It's got a contact me in it. It's got mortgage calculator in it, which is kind of nice. So you basically, under manage articles, you would just add a new article, and you could write your own little article piece on it. I'll show you what an example here is probably a little bit better. Oh no, that's mine. But so that's something to consider.
Under add a new article, is that where you could also upload something?
Let's see. Probably could add a picture. Let's see. Insert a link. You could probably insert a link to that and just say, hey, I found this great article on selling your home. Thought you might be interested in it.
Mhm.
So if I was going to put a link in there, I would put the URL.
Mhm.
So now it's got a link in there. I'm going to hit save.
Campaigns, okay.
At the bottom there. Yeah, it's active. I'm going to make this number 1.
Yeah.
So now that link, that article is there. So if they click on it, they can read it. They can click on the link to your website, whatever you put in there. Let's go back to that article.
Is everything automatically sent out to you, or do you need to put yourself in there to see when you get in there?
As far as, does it send you a copy?
Yeah.
I think you got to add yourself in there to see a copy of it. And these, that I know that they update these on a month-to-month basis. Oh, you can add links in there too. So up with links to your website, to community, website pages, anything, you can add links in there. They'll show up on the right-hand side as well. And I'll remind you. So if you put a reminder, if you haven't written your new article for the month, it'll remind you 5 days before, hey, you got to get your replacement first article in there. So what a lot of agents will do is that reminder comes up, they'll come up into their articles, and they'll go to their number 1, and they'll either make it active or inactive, or they'll click on it and edit it and change it from month to month, something new. That's also a good place to say, hey, every once in a while, just say, hey, love referrals if you or anybody is looking to buy or sell. Some agents will add their testimonial in there as an article or as a piece to make that number 1 and number 2. So you can order them however way you want, and then they'll show up that way. So if you had, number 2 was always the testimonial of the month or something like that. It could be you could have an article be number 1, and then number 2 be testimonial of the month, whatever you want. So that's the e-newsletter. We went over the campaigns. Any questions on the campaigns or marketing materials and that kind of stuff? The other thing you can do is under Save Pieces. If there's a certain flyer you use for things, like I use this one a lot for different things. And let's say I used it for one thing 1 month and I want to use it for something else another month. You can come in and you can edit it and you can save it as a different name. So this was for a summer social we did. Again, you can add different things to it, add text box. You can add pictures. If you want to save it, the same name, you just leave it that name. But if you wanted to call it something different, you just do a different name and it'll save it as a different piece. So it's kind of the same layout, so you can use your layouts over and over, which is kind of nice. If you've got a specific layout that you like, you can do that. There's some other ones in here I wanted to show you guys that I thought were pretty good. The grow marketing pieces in here under postcards and farming target. Some of these are like these. These are ones that are going to be less capable of changing, but like this one's is it time to put a new roof over your head? So it looks like that. It's cute, you know, but there's not much you can change really. Actually, there's nothing you can change in this one. Again, it's got the send to a friend button. But again, if you have a screenshot saver, you can also just use these as pictures on like Facebook. So find your screenshot saver on your computer and let me find it now. Cortana. I don't like Cortana. Oh, it's asking me to install the app, of course. On an Apple, it's just so much easier. I finally went to an Apple computer. I'm glad I did. But take a screenshot of it and then post it on Facebook. And just say, hey, you know, if anybody's looking to buy or sell, it's just a, you don't. I mean, you're free to use these however you want. It doesn't have to be just in the email or the outreach. Get a little crowded. It's not a bad one. Again, there's tons of this stuff in here. This one's funny too. I like this one. Need to move. Kind of funny. So any of those you can do anything with. Also, if you wanted to not use the printing service that's attached to this, all you'd have to do really is if you went to any of your saved pieces and let's say there's a flyer you created that you wanted to order, you just click on it. Click on order printing. And if you wanted like 100 of them, 50 cents a piece. Not the cheapest in the world, but you could do that. Or you could do, if you do desktop print, it actually opens the PDF. And you can just print it to a computer, or you can save it on your computer. Click download. Sort of brought it up down here somewhat. I can't even click on it right now because it's. But you click on open it, save it, and then send it to a local printer or go down to Staples or wherever you want. But you can do whatever you want with it, really, once you've created it. So. Any questions with that? No? Okay. Any other questions with PromoShop in general? No?
I gotta get in there and experiment with it more.
Yeah, you gotta just get in there and play with it. I mean, the good thing is it's pretty simple tabs. You get your contacts, your marketing materials, your campaigns, your newsletters. I mean, that's pretty much it. Calendar would just be like stuff that's reminders for you to do certain things, but it's a fairly easy program to use. You just have to get used to it. And note that some some materials are just email version, and some are just mail. So for instance, like the grill marking, let's see if I think those are print or email. So if you click on it and it says print or email, then you can do both with it. Some of them you may click on and it'll say email only. It's not available for print or something. Maybe it's just not formatted for print or something. So you just want to make sure. I really think that if you're going to build campaigns and stuff like that, the best thing to do is grab a piece of paper and start going through each of them, like noting the ones you like, and whether it's a spring one, spring, and then go in and build your campaign because you know what pieces you're going to go pick and put in your campaign. And personally, I like the customized campaigns better because then it's less of a chance that you're going to be just like somebody else and the same things. But that, and I think
I do have a question for contacts. On our website, we have the contacts.
Mhm.
Can we download those also into like an Excel file and then just easily upload those into the Promo Shop instead of having to type everything in?
from your website.
Yeah, from wherever there's contacts with Exit.
I'm sure there is a way. I don't know if I'd wait. Like if you're in your website and someone registers and you have some kind of chit-chat back and forth, or even if you don't care if you have a chit-chat back and forth, I wouldn't wait for 2 months to build up 10 or 15 before downloading them and uploading to Promo Shop. I just stay on top of it like a week-to-week basis or every other week.
Right.
Just go in and add them one at a time. Just, I mean, it's.
Do you know if there's going to be eventually a integration between the two?
I think Exit's aim is to get there.
Mhm.
Honestly, if they get there, they will be the only company in existence that's like that. Because all these products, there's no other company that's built all these products all in one for their own company and their own company alone.
Mhm.
All these products have been outside providers that create a product and say, we'll sell it to you, Exit Realty, or we'll sell it to your agents.
Mm-hmm.
So you end up with a website, you end up with a virtual tour product, you end up with
Yeah, it's all a bunch of different
you end up with the
things,
dot
yeah.
loop, and you end up with all these different things, and it is some work to keep everything uniform. It's just, it's almost like these companies, any real estate brand has never been to the point where they brought in a whole tech team to develop a product that might take thousands of hours to develop. But I think that's their goal now because they know that it's getting more and more consuming to keep everything together as a real estate agent because of that. So they're talking about having the same kind of all the marketing tools that Promo Shop has in Exit Realty without having to go into Promo Shop.
Okay.
And all the virtual tour stuff available through Exit without having to have Exit Realty.
Right.
It just takes time.
Yeah.
But, no.
Does anyone, or maybe we could, or would work when you do this, create a checklist, or not necessarily a flow chart, just checklist like, okay, new buyer, put them on MLS, put them in contacts in Promo Shop, put them in the website if they're not. That way you could kind of, every new person you meet or every new situation, you say, okay, this is what we need to do.
Like a procedure type.
We could probably create something like that.
Reminder.
Yeah, almost like a checklist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we could do something like that, put it in like dot loop.
Probably because we're new to it, it seems
Yeah,
it'll take a lot of thought. Probably for
put it
you, you just
here,
bang it out on the top of your head, right?
yeah,
There's only a few things you have to do. It's not as complicated as making it probably.
Yeah, it's probably, the reality is all this stuff is great, but at the end of the day, your sole goal is to get them in front of you face to face. And probably other than that, the long-term drip campaigns are like the second best solution. Even the webs, like loading them on the website, the biggest goal with that is make sure they're getting daily email updates. But if you're really driving your buyers, you should be on MLS every day looking for listings for them and really driving the boat with them so that they feel like you're of value rather than just waiting for them to call and say, I'm interested in this one, this one, this one. So at the end of the day, there's some agents that don't incorporate any of this stuff and are successful because they pick up the phone and buyers call them and say, I'm looking for a house, and they start scouring and say, I got 4 for you. I mean, some buyers don't even get on listing on their websites. It's just their agent will just be like, I got 4 more for you. We're going out this weekend again. We got 5 more for you. And maybe a buyer will occasionally say, I saw one on Realtor.com, I want to add to the list. But it's, you know what I mean? So some agents are incredibly old-fashioned and still do a ton of business. Doesn't mean because they're not using anything they're any less effective. But I think all these tools can just help you be a little bit more effective, and on top of the clients that may be on your fringes that aren't in your face every day, and you
And
just
to stay in touch, I just had a buyer that bought with me about 4 years ago, and I just lost touch. And
Right.
she said, I decided to make a move, and I had to go looking for you. She said, I found you on LinkedIn.
are good.
So, yeah, this makes me realize I really need to have a better database to stay in touch with people.
Right. That's why they express the importance of on the resource center, making sure you get your profile built on there, because Exit really has a lot of clout as far as search engine optimization, because it's been around for 20 years and the website's been in existence that long. So if somebody types in your name, there's a good chance that the top 3 that are usually going to see come up are going to be Exit Realty's profile, your LinkedIn profile, and probably your Facebook profile. It's going to be like the top 3 that pop up. Facebook and LinkedIn may or may not. I've noticed the best the best search result is from Exit Realty, though, because it'll say your name dash Exit Realty. So if they knew you were Exit, like first name, they weren't quite sure. It's like definite. It's like here's Susan at Exit Realty Partners. Plus, it's not going to be subject to them clicking on Facebook and seeing the post that you posted today and maybe not liking it. Anyways, no, I think if there's any other tool besides, I think this is a main one you really want to focus on. You want to have your database, and you want to keep in touch with your database. Another agent told me the same thing. It's like, client, he's like, you told me to get on Facebook, and he wasn't doing his profile on here. He wasn't doing anything else, but at least he was getting more on Facebook. And he said, I had a client just come to me and said, if I hadn't seen your post, I'm not sure how I would have been able to find you. And they were buying and selling the house for $300,000 and $500,000. It's like, if I lost that client, I would not have been happy. It was only because I was started posting more regularly that this client saw me, and it's like, there's Joe. I mean, some people don't realize you can just type into the search bar on Facebook a name, and your friends pop up. Some people don't even know that much about Facebook, so they watch all the stuff going by on a daily basis, and if they don't see you, it's going to be. So top of mind awareness can be promo shop, definitely Facebook, and just kind of reminding people that, hey, I'm in the business and I'm sharing a listing or whatever it may be that I'm doing, that it's you're out there. And then when they're active, I think getting them on either MLS or on your website, one or the other. Some people like one or the other. Get them somewhere, one or the other. And the more you can make them understand that this is going to give you instant updates on stuff that's coming on the market. You don't have to go to Zillow or Trulia, which are out of date and sometimes wrong, and sometimes not even picking up a listing. This is going to be direct MLS feed information. Whether it's you put them on a website, you put them on MLS, it's direct feed information. So you don't have to worry about being on those other sites anymore, because if they haven't signed a contract with you, we know how people are. If they haven't signed a contract with you and all of a sudden they're on Zillow or Trulia and they see a hot listing come up, and they could just as easily call the listing agent or go out to the open house and write up an offer. Oh, they said it was going to go fast, so we just wrote up an offer with the open house agent. And you're like,
MLS also archives your contacts after a certain period, so you may think they're getting stuff and they've been archived. You
Oh,
might
really?
not know it, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. They just started doing it. Go back to your MLS and look at your people. Most of them will be auto-archived if they haven't looked.
Yeah, I think it's after 90 days.
Yeah.
But they haven't looked at it.
They have,
Yeah. But still, it still comes up and it's right there in their face, and you would hope, maybe they click on it, maybe they don't, but
Yeah. So, any other questions? I will try to work on some kind of best practices for kind of working with buyers and sellers and stuff. I probably the best thing you can do is schedule an hour a week to update your database and try to add people in there. And just, we all know enough people where if we just kind of concentrated on it, we could probably add a lot of people. You guys using LinkedIn? One of the things you can do with LinkedIn, let me just show you guys this. You know that you can download an Excel list of email addresses from LinkedIn? You guys know what you do?
No.
Yes. So Facebook, you cannot download email addresses, but LinkedIn you can. So if you grow, although I don't find LinkedIn all that useful for anything else, this is probably the most useful thing for LinkedIn. But they say people are more and more starting, I need to update my picture on there. It's old. I haven't been in here in a while. I would recommend you grow your LinkedIn connections for one reason. That reason being if you go to, let's see. So if you go to My Network in Connections, I'm connected to 522 people. And so then if you click on this little gear button, it says, where it says wipe our connections, there was a little gear button. Click on the gear button. And then export LinkedIn connections. And you can export it right to a CSV file. Is this a 970? There we go.
I think it's treating it as a pop-up now.
I don't have that. I don't have Excel on this computer. It'll open as an Excel. You save it on your computer, and then you should be able to upload it right to Promo Shop. So that's
And this is export to Outlook.
yeah, you can go to
it's still a CSV file. It's still like an Excel file. It's a .csv file.
Okay,
So
so
that's what you
use that. Then what's the next step?
It'll open up on your computer if you have Excel.
Yep.
You save it on your computer, and then you open Promo Shop and you import contacts. So maybe you call it you put it in a group called LinkedIn Contacts or something. But pretty much you can build a pretty big list, a pretty big database to start dripping on by growing your LinkedIn page and then exporting them. So you just you go to My Network Connections, and then you just click on the right-hand side, the little gear button. Export. Export them, save it on your computer, then go into Promo Shop and your contacts and upload it.
So what's you can sync your Gmail contacts to LinkedIn and give them an invitation, or?
Let's see. Let's do it with I don't know if I have that many contacts in here. I forget what my plugin, but yeah, it looks like you can, if you've got Gmail contacts, you can, it'll probably upload them, it'll ask them if you want to send an invitation to those people.
Yeah, that's what it does.
Oh, cool.
I should probably get in here and play around with it more. I haven't been in here in a while. Any other questions?
No.
Oh, cool. take a 10-minute break, and then Jim should be able to do the last section of the day, which is the best.
I'm going to excuse myself.
Yeah, you know Dolly.
I'm pretty good on that one, but I can always learn more. I just got to, my son's got a ball game tonight.
Oh, yeah. You're welcome. Yeah.
It was a great class. Thank you.
Are you just getting started on the motion?
No, we're done.
Oh, you're done?
Yeah, we're done. We're gonna